First of all, I want to say a very big thank you for acknowledging to join us today. It's really amazing, and I'm so glad that you're able to join us because of the massive knowledge that we're going to get to learn from you today. I'd like you to introduce yourself a little bit.
My name is Oge Chubera, popularly known as Miss Capella. So that's how I like to be addressed, as Miss Capella. I'm a relationship advisor, I'm an actor, a singer. I am just a jack of all trades. Okay, so the topic for today is dating to marry. What are those things that we should expect? Am I right? And I
Mm-hmm.
started my conversation with, as a matter of fact, I'm starting with, while you are single, before you get into relationship, it is imperative that you prepare your mind, your body, and soul, because relationship itself is a work. It requires a lot of commitment. It requires a lot of effort. It's not a place where if you don't put in your A game, it's definitely going to crash. It's not a place where one person is receiving and the other person is not receiving. The reason why I like to use the word relationship, because I feel like it's more intense, it's more intentional, so to say. It's more focused. It has a direction other than dating. I feel like dating is a place where people just come to do all manner of things and get away with it. Now, if I'm in a relationship with you, it's imperative that we both understand that I have a vision for the future. So when I'm saying yes to you, I'm not just saying yes for us now, I'm saying yes for us tomorrow. Now, when people get that into their mind, they will no longer date. They would be intentional with choosing a partner in their life. They will be more focused on choosing someone that is focused on the future, that has directions, not someone that comes in and doesn't even care where the relationship is heading to. And these are the people that you get to remind every now and then, where are we going to? What's the direction? What do you take me for? Now, imagine if I prep myself as a single person. If a man walks into my life, I already know what I want, because mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, I am prepared. So when you come in from the starting, the approach, the first time, the first dates and all of that, I'm already telling you what I want. Do you understand me? I am already precise about where I am going. I am intentional about where I am going, so that when you come in thinking that it's just one of those games, you will understand that this person is not someone you joke with. I, for one, I have heard from several guys telling me, Miss Capella, I wouldn't want to go into a relationship with you because you know too much. Oh yes, it took my preparing stage, which is the waiting stage. I know too much. I tell them yes. And the truth is, there will be people that will see you as too much, because you're not supposed to be there with them in the first place. Now, just because we are, especially when it comes to women, just because you're wives does not mean that you should, get married to every Dick and Harry that poses to be a husband. And same thing applies to a man. Just because you're a husband doesn't mean that everyone is a bride. There are some that are knives. And if you're not intentional, and if you're not, you're prayerful, if you're not grounded in the things of God, you might just end up picking people you should be running away from. Now, when I say preparation is important, because we don't want you coming into relationships with baggages, with traumas and dramas all over the places. You see people moving into the next relationship without deleting what has happened in the past. So they come in with those trauma, and they're already looking at you with suspense and suspicious eyes. They're like, I don't even trust you enough. You could see that this is a relationship built not with trust, but it's just, everything is just showing there that this person doesn't even trust you're going out and coming in. It's not their making. They are not healed from their past trauma. The baggage is there. Now, I'm going to come into your life not with any baggage, because I have prepared myself. I told someone, or let me also share it here, that dating period is preparation period. Is preparation period. Relationship period is preparing you for what your marriage holds. That's why whatever you don't see in your relationship, don't anticipate it in marriage. There's nothing like I will be a better person. Whatever you don't see now, don't expect miracle tomorrow. And as in it's in all ramification. I'm talking about the care, the efforts, the commitment, the approach, the conversation, the communication. If it is not intact, forget about it. Because you think you are busy now, you will be more busier in marriage. So now that we are laying our bed to lie on it, we got to come in with our A game. I wouldn't want a situation where someone is coming in and putting in 100%, the other person is coming in with 50% because of unhealed trauma. You see them, they are not fully committed. They are not there with their two legs. They are there with one legs, waiting to fall out. And the thing is, you cannot be in a preparation stage, which is relationship stage, and still have doubts over the person you're with. It will not work. You have to be positive, because like begat like, kind begat kind. So you got to come in positively, come in seeing people differently. Because the thing is, if you allow God step into your relationship, your marriage is a sure game. If you invite him, the first day the man says, I want you, and you say, you know what, take the lead. Let it be. Let me confirm from my maker. Listen, we have been called to help. It's not an easy job. This is a spiritual journey. If it is not, he wouldn't say that he that find it a good thing. Why don't you have a good thing all this while? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. This is a spiritual journey, and it's not something we go with just emotions, feelings. So don't feel like it. Make sure you're going with conviction. You have heard from your maker that, you know what, this relationship is what I need. Because it's not every relationship that has come to make you. Some have come to mar you. So you got to be very intentional, picking people who have baggages, traumas that are unhealed. There are people that naturally hate the opposite gender. It's not their making. It's from childhood trauma, the way they were raised. And if you're not raised with love, how would you expect this person to give you love? You can't give what you don't have. There are people that their first relationship has been traumatizing till today. They have not been able to get over their exes. So anybody who comes in is a suspect. So they don't give you everything. And I begin to wonder. There are videos I have dropped on several, talks on this dating to marry. There are people that you just begin to wonder, how come you gave everything to the wrong person? And now that you're with the right person, you're withholding yourself. You're withdrawing those good things. It's not their making. And it's not my job to change you. You see, while you were waiting, while you were single, which is the preparation stage, if you waited, not just sitting down, preparing yourself for what is ahead of you, trust me, you will come in full package. Because you can be everything and be in the wrong address. And you can never be too good for someone who isn't for you. It is imperative that you're prayerful, you're productive, you are positive, you're intentional, you have a vision for the future. Some of us come out here writing about lists of the things we want in a wife. But when you are dating, you are choosing rubbish. You talk about things you want in a woman and in a husband. When you are dating the opposite of everything. Because you are not what you are, what you want to attract. That's exactly what happens. It's not about writing a list from 100 to 1,000. And I want a kind man. You gotta be everything you're seeking for in your relationship. You gotta be everything. So while you're waiting for someone to give, I hope you're willing to give back. So it begins with me. It begins with him. Now, when I come into that relationship, my entire focus will be how to better this person. That person will be thinking towards how to better me. Because the idea is that we're not coming in to be perfect. Neither are we coming in to be wrong. We're coming in to better one another. Until we bring out the best version of ourselves in relationship, we're not ready for marriage. Until we're ready to tolerate one another, to heal one another, to forgive one another in relationship, we're not ready for marriage, because all of those things are going to play out. Sometimes you got to play a fool, not because you're a fool, but because you want peace. Most times you choose peace over being right. How many people are willing to give up their rights for their partner to be right? So I don't like the word dating. Let us be intentional. Let's get into relationship, so that you know that you're coming in and you understand that the person you're going into a relationship with has flaws. And there are some things that you got to overlook if you really want it to stay. If you want a result out of this, your tolerance level have to be high. Never reduce your standard when you're choosing for there are some people who today they are in a relationship that they know will not lead to marriage, but they are still there. So they are in a relationship praying to God for marriage, because they already know that the person they are with is a no-go area. Why entertain people that will drain you while you wait for the best gift? How about you let go of anything that is not of you, is not for you, sorry to say, and anticipate what is for you? People are scared of being alone these days. They feel like when you are alone, you are lonely. Imagine if you're occupying your mind with innovative things, with creative things. Do you think you're going to be as lonely as the world has pushed it to be? Why should I be worried that my friends are getting married and I'm not getting married? It's not yet my time. My name in Igbo says Ogechi, and which is God's time. It's always the best. If you run around and choose something outside God's plan for you, you will come back to zero. That's why you see people marry and then they get divorced and come back again, start again, before they can say, you know what, now I got it right. If you're not intentional from the onset, you will just pick somebody out of loneliness. You pick someone because they are buoyant financially. You pick someone because they are cute. You pick someone because they have a good shape. You pick someone because they know how to cook. Then in marriage, every other thing is lacking. And if you're an ungrateful person, you get into a relationship, it's still another problem. Nothing your partner do will ever satisfy you. You see why I say it is imperative that we both work on ourselves individually, so that when we come in, we see that the things that are supposed to be so obvious, we will not even make a heel out of it. We will learn to resolve our conflicts amicably because we are both intentional. We get sense. You know, you can be a full package, like I said. I end up in the wrong address. You can be everything nice. Then when you get into the wrong hands, they destroy you. They bring out a part of you that was never there. There are some people that are damaged today, not because they were damaged before, but it is the situation that they found themselves. That is why we have to be very intentional to not choose situationship over relationship. So I'm not going to come into relationship with anyone because I want to manage with you. I'm coming in because I expect you to come in with your head intact. It's not a place where you manage. Let's all take responsibilities for our actions. Before you act, think. What will happen if reverse is the case? If I could do this to my partner, if they do it to me, how would I feel? If you're a Christian, you have no business dating someone that isn't a Christian. Because two of you will never align. You understand what I'm saying? So a relationship that is centered around God is the best thing that can happen to anyone. You can derail, no doubt, but come back. Marriage is a serious business. It's a serious business. I told, there's a time I had a single seminar. I was telling them, be so intentional that you're telling God, may my next be my last. Because the idea is we're not here to test waters. I'm not trying to try people here. My heart is not a game, it's not a PlayStation. When I give it to you, I'm seeing a future. If you don't see that, I walk out on time. While you are dating, do not wait till the middle of the relationship before you can, before you can be specific about what you want. Define it from the onset. While you're dating, define what you're doing. The first day, what do you want, sir? I want marriage. When, sir? When? Set an achievable goal. Make sure you're working towards that goal, because some people can say anything just to get to you. And make sure you're keeping yourself. You're preparing yourself. They want the other way. You say, no, I am keeping myself because I know what I want. You cannot date a worldly person and expect a heavenly reward. So date someone that understands the vision, that understands. See, when you date a godly person, it's different from a church person. A godly person is seen in their attitude, in their actions, in their approach, in their countenance. Character is everything. And character is who you are. Some people don't look at that. So they look at the things that are temporal. They are after the temporal gains. How much does he have? Money is good, no doubt. How tall is he? How fat is he? How slim is he? Those are the things that will change over time. You're never going to be a spec all the time. Time and changes would come. They will occur. When they do, what are you going to hold on to in that marriage? That's why you see people wake up tomorrow and say, I married her slim. Now she's fat. I'm no longer attracted. It's not attraction that keeps marriage. Attraction is the first thing a man says. Oh, men are visual beings, no doubt. But there is more to the content. Mm-hmm. If not, you end up carrying a beautiful, empty container that would just be there, lined up like just one of your pieces of furniture. May we not marry what we cannot explain. And may we not appear to be in what we cannot explain to our partner. Because you explain, no evidence. They ask, now, you see, if you don't prep yourself, if you don't come like a queen that you are, if you don't come like a king that you are, you begin to hear questions like, what can you offer? Mm-hmm. What do you bring to the table? No, imagine if as I am a whole package. This is a full course meal now. With a dessert. In fact, I'm a meal and an extra. I need the person to come in with confidence. That way you're not shaked. Every relationship should build your self-confidence, not the minute. Mm-hmm. And anywhere that they are not pushing you to become the best version, you're not supposed to be there in the first place. We all want to receive, but we have to prepare to also give. It's a two-way road. You cannot strike when one person is receiving. The other person will somehow break down. Who then pumps it? If you're used to receiving. Some people come and they want to display their father's attitude in their relationship, forgetting who they are. So they are living a double identity. Some women want to present themselves as their mother. No, if my mother couldn't take this, so I won't take this. You have to intentionally work on yourself. If not, whatever that is going on in your family is what you want to happen in your relationship, in your current relationship. And any man who does not have plan for marriage should have no business in relationship. What are you really doing there? No, because if we want to have fun, we could get hobby. Everyone should date with... Somebody said to me the other day, Miss Capella, but not every relationship should end to marriage. And some people are there to teach you. I don't want to be where you teach me a lesson. Life has taught me enough. I don't want to learn again. Some people say, but it's not every relationship that should lead to marriage. Some people are here to teach you what exactly. I'm not here to learn any lesson. I've learned enough. I want you to come prepared or leave me alone. Now, it is better for you to be alone, whole, sane, than being with somebody that drives you insane. I have seen people who are in marriages that they look worse than they were when they were single. So it's either draining or you're growing. Mm-hmm. You're either glowing or you're growing. Mm-hmm. Whether we like it or not, we must both put in the effort. Yeah. When you're too busy, you're not supposed to be in a relationship. Relationship is not for people that open their mouth and say, I'm too busy. And it's not a selfish place. I have experienced, I've had my own fair share of selfish people. People who come in and think that relationship is all about them. If it doesn't revolve around them, they're disinterested. Like they're uninterested about any other thing that does not affect them. Do you understand me? Yeah. So we must understand that relationship is a place where you come in selflessly. You're coming into work for the next person. It's not for yourself again. This is why in dating, in single period, which is before the dating, or I don't like the word dating, before the word relationship, before you get into one relationship or the other, it is imperative that you take your time and prep yourself so that you have nothing else to bother about. Grow yourself, get a skill, get a hobby, so that when a man or a woman shows up, you don't revolve your world around them. There must be something that takes your mind off your partner. You gotta be busy. Get something doing to occupy your mind, your body, and so you've got to be creative. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that in relationship, you don't come in acting selfishly. Take all the time you need in the world before you say yes, because the truth is, no one is necessarily pushing you to get into a relationship. And this thing that people talk about timing, the time, I don't have time, so let me just settle for anything and hurry. Anyhow you like, you do it. If you start wrong, you will come back from beginning again. Because there is a man for every woman, and there's a woman for every man. You go and choose something that you're not supposed to be choosing. There's a problem. And the choice that you make, you get to live with that decision for the rest of your life. So in a relationship, I'm coming in, I have made this choice. If I say yes to you, I am making this choice to your flaws. I'm making this choice to your imperfections. I already agreed that you're imperfect. So I'm coming in to bring out the best out of you. So you're not choosing people because you want to make your life better. You're choosing people because you want to make them better. They are choosing the same thing. So if we don't come with the same mindset, if you don't share the same similarities, there's going to be a problem. Tomorrow, if things are not going on well with you, all I'll be thinking about is just me and me. But how about we think about us? That's why you see today, in today's relationship, you see people telling you, I don't owe you any explanation. No, you do. The day you say yes to me, you owe me. I'm responsible for your well-being. Asking you where you are is not command. Asking you who you're with is not control. It's an act of care. Some of you have been so lonely to a point that you don't even know the difference between when someone is caring and when someone is controlling. Someone cares about your safety, you think they're controlling you. Oh, why would you tell me who to hang out with? Why would you tell me who to talk to? This and that are going on. Before you know, these little things will amount to big things and you guys will just split. I've seen people who said they got dumped because they are too good. And the truth is, when someone says you are too good for me, they are right. It is not in your place to prove to them that you are better, or they should accept you or see you for who you are. No. When it is right, you don't prove yourself. You are both intentional. You're both convinced. You would see it now. You is seen. Before it is felt, it is seen. That's why you believe more in actions over words. I don't care what anybody cares to say to you. What matters is what they do for you. It is in their actions that you know if their word is their bond or they're just blabbing. Because anybody can talk just to get into your pants. So in dating period or in relationship period, one has to be very, very careful so you don't end up in the wrong hands. It would traumatize you. Imagine giving your entire years to someone that you're not even sure of their next step. Imagine crossing an ocean for someone that can't even cross a gutter for you. So before you say, I'm giving you my all, you got to be convinced, be sure of the person you're giving your life to. Make sure their heart is as soft as they handle yours with care. Make sure they see how delicate you are, how special you are. They should cherish every moment they spend with you. You're not doing anybody a favor being with them. Neither are they doing you a favor being with you. So don't ever stay and correct them. There are things you shouldn't accept. There are words you should not say yes to. For whatever you permit in your relationship is what you get into marriage with. That changes their status from master to Mr., from Miss to Mrs. It doesn't mean that their character have changed. Focus on who people truly are. Their personality is what you're going to live with. A time will come when love will just be on a corner. What will sustain you guys is friendship. What the memories you have built over time. What memories are you creating in your today relationship? Is it positive? Because if it is draining you more than it is growing you, leave. Before you get to marriage, you will be taking BP drugs. And once you start that drugs, you don't end. So you cannot be in a relationship that once a partner leaves, you begin to fidget. You're already frightened. You don't know their next move. If you cannot beat your hands in your chest and say, you know what, this man got me, or I got this girl, or this girl got me, what are you doing there in the first place? So guard your heart with jealousy. But nobody is saying build your wall so high. But guard your heart with jealousy, that before you give it out, you are convinced, you have heard, you have prayed about it, you are sure, you have been able to ascertain that this person is qualified to be in your space. If not, it is better to be single. It is better to be single. It's not everybody that is even meant to be married. So imagine you got that were not destined to be married, and all they think about is just themselves. You will just be in that marriage and be alone. Do you know that we have too many married single people? They are wearing the ring, but they are not there. Their partner doesn't care about their well-being. They can travel for as long as nobody calls each other. They only relate when they are around. Anything outside them, there's nothing to look out to. I was having a counseling the other day, and the lady was, opting for divorce, and I kept trying to see how this could, how she could change it. She said to me, there's no memory. I don't have anything to hold. There's no good memory. Everything that has been done in this marriage, I invented it. I told you that a time will come when the person who is the one investing their everything will be exhausted. So don't be too comfortable receiving and not contributing, because you're creating a memory that they will have to hold on to. When you are there, nonchalant, you're not, grooming yourself to see how you can make your partner, become the best version of themselves. What can you do to better your marriage? What can you do to better your relationship? You don't think about it. All you think about is me, me, me. One day, this person that has been the brain behind the beautiful dates, behind the beautiful ideas, will get exhausted. And by the time you're ready to start giving, they are gone. So don't get too comfortable and too relaxed. If you're not, make sure you're contributing effectively. If you be just like you take your work serious in order for you to get paid at the end of the month, so is relationship. Is a full-time job. Some of you, the only time you have time that you would invest in your relationship, you will use it for some other flimsy things, temporary things, like going out for parties with your friends, hanging out with the boys or hanging out with the girls. You're not creating time for us. When you do not create time for us suffers. There is a big gap, a big hole there. Who will fill that void? So understand that as important as your job is, so is your relationship. Whatever you give in your relationship is what you receive out of it. You give in time you will receive. You give in love you will receive. Attention you will receive. Your commitment you will receive. Your loyalty you receive. So you build a trustworthy relationship, you're going to get one too. So you get the picture, right? So whatever you both, I'm not talking about just one person, is a teamwork. Whatever you both invest is what you're going to get out of it. Because you cannot plant them and expect to reap or harvest cassava, or harvest corn, or harvest plantain. So whatever you sow in your relationship is exactly what you're going to get out of it. So invest time. If it is imperative that you give it time, give it all that it needs to bring it alive. Because sometimes you will feel low. Sometimes you as a person will feel low. You may not have that motivation. What do you need? You need someone that just taps in your back and tell you all is going to be well. You are doing well. You're going to be strong. You're going to be better. You're coming out of this stronger. Someone who believes in you, that motivates you, that pushes you to come out and be the best version of yourself. We all have that low time. And imagine you don't have anybody that talks you out of it.
You've heard it all. Let me quickly give a little highlight of everything that we've talked about. So, we talked about a couple of things, and some of these include that you reflect on your values before you go into any relationship. you have to be sure that the person that you are going into that relationship with, that that person correlates with the values of that person, correlate with your own values. You have to be sure that that person is ready to put in the work that that relationship needs for it to work. Not just that person putting in the work, you also have to put in that work. You have to be sure that that person is ready and willing to respect, to give you the respect that you need, and you also are ready to give that person the respect that that person deserves. You have to be sure of these things. Marriage is not something, or relationship is not something that you just go into. You have to be sure. You don't go to marriage to come back home. No, it is a life thing. You go in there to stay for like till the rest of your life, or the rest of your life. So before you go into any relationship, be sure that you are ready, that that person meets that exact thing that you have said, that be sure that that person meets those requirements that you have designed, that you've written out, that these are what I need in this person. So this is basically everything that we've talked about so far. I hope you gained so much from this. Kapala, thank you so much. It's really amazing to have you on this live this evening.